We're back on the Sports Zone. I am Mike Aglialoro. Once again, thanks to everyone who subscribed to my YouTube channel, MikeAgs121. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Check out the website, thisissportszone.com for more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at WeAreSportsZone. Now, we're continuing our 2014 fantasy football preview. We've looked at 4 sleeper running backs for this coming season in Pierre Thomas, Shane Vereen, Ahmad Bradshaw, and Terrence West. We're going to look at a few more today, and we're going to start with Jeremy Hill of the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Hill is going to replace Ben Jarvis Green Ellis as the Bengals' goal line running back. He will be splitting carries with Giovanni Bernard, who should be more of the feature back in that offense. But Ben Jarvis Green Ellis still was able to put up points last year. Bernard didn't quite have the breakout a lot of people thought he would, and that'll probably continue to be suppressed with Hill coming to the offense this year. Hill is not someone I would take early, but if you can take him mid-rounds, maybe somewhere between the 7th and the 10th round, you're looking at a value pick there. Another guy you don't want to take too early, but you do want to take at some point in the middle rounds, Carlos Hyde of the San Francisco 49ers. People have been predicting Frank Gore's demise for a number of years now, but this year, at the age of 31, it does look like Father Time is starting to toll for him, and his number one backup, Kendall Hunter, is out for the season already. The other options in the 49er backfield are Marcus Lattimore and LaMichael James if he stays with the team. But of these 3, Hyde is the most explosive. So far, it looks like he's going to get the earliest look, and if he does wind up fighting off the rest of them in that backfield and Gore does go down, you're going to be happy you took him in the middle rounds. One way or another, I think they might try to cut his workload anyway this year, so that Niners backup role looks that much better. You want to make sure you try to get Carlos Hyde, especially if you are in a dynasty or keeper league. Next guy, we're going to look at another rookie, Devonta Freeman of the Atlanta Falcons. I talked about him, and I talked about all these guys when we looked at some of the rookie running backs to keep an eye on after the NFL draft. Freeman early on in the preseason looks like he's definitely going to have a larger role in the offense than Jaquez Rodgers. You definitely got a feel for simply because it always looked like he was the one being groomed to take over the feature role. They don't feel confident enough in him. Freeman is not much bigger, but he is a little more explosive. So I think another one, you take him in the middle rounds 7 through 10, you're going to wind up being happy you did come the fantasy playoffs. Next name we're going to look at is Andre Williams of the New York Giants. Everyone's hopping on the Rashad Jennings bandwagon, and I just can't do it. I know he had a decent season in Oakland last year, but I just don't think he's a feature back. I'm sorry, I know you're not supposed to go with opinions here. You're supposed to go with facts. You look at Jennings, though, there's nothing to get excited about. Yeah, he averaged 4.5 yards a carry last year, but I'm telling you, plain and simple, he's one of those running backs who's going to get you 100 yards if you give him the ball 25 to 30 times in a game. Andre Williams is a plotter in his own right, but right now you want the guy who's got a little more explosiveness and has the ability to be used in the passing game, which Jennings has not shown capable of doing. Williams is a late round draft pick. You want to take him near the end of your draft, but if you do, you got the bench spot, hold on to him. I say week 5, he winds up at least getting into a timeshare with Jennings, and then by midseason I can see him eclipsing Jennings. Moving on, I talk about this guy last, but really I put him on the sleeper list. It's bittersweet to me. Tre Mason of the St. Louis Rams. See, I am a Zach Stacy owner in the Dynasty League, and I'm very upset that Mason was drafted by the St. Louis Rams. Right now, he is buried on the depth chart beneath Isaiah Pead and Zach Stacy. But Zach Stacy, unfortunately, I was able to grab him last year. He's more of a plotter. He will break off a big run every now and then. But if Tre Mason is anything like he was in college, and let's not forget Jake Dixon, who did SportsZone's NFL draft prospect rankings before the draft, had Mason listed as the number 1 back in this year's draft. For him to go to St. Louis, where Zach Stacy did have a big year, but he was only a 4th round draft pick, it's not like he's got a pedigree. If he winds up breaking off any sort of explosive runs early in the season, he's going to wind up getting the feature back work, and Stacy could wind up being in line strictly for goal line work. So Tre Mason's another one. You take him late, you could be surprised by what happens later on in the season. So to review, in part 2 of our look at the sleeper running backs for this coming season, it was Jeremy Hill of the Cincinnati Bengals, Carlos Hyde of the San Francisco 49ers, Devonta Freeman of the Atlanta Falcons, Andre Williams of the New York Giants, and Tre Mason of the St. Louis Rams. Once again, subscribe to the YouTube channel Mike Ags 121, like the videos, check out the website thisisportszone.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at WeAreSportsZone. Send us any questions and comments you may have. Everyone, thanks for watching. For This Is Sports Zone, I am Mike Aglialoro. We will see you next time, folks.